tariffs and not talk about the tax cuts as well that we're expecting. Is this to offset some of the cuts that we plan on expecting? Will this be a permanent measure, or are we thinking when it comes to the scoring of this bill, we're going to be able to get cuts as a result of this?
I wouldn't think of tax cuts as a way to offset the tariff.
We would introduce who this is, but you guys already know who this couch lover is.
Yeah.
He loves couches. Here's the way that I think about it is, again, for 40 years, we've had an economy that rewards people who ship American jobs overseas and raises taxes on American workers, and we're flipping that on its head. We're going to cut taxes for American workers and for American companies that build here. We're going to make it harder to ship American jobs overseas. It's a total shift in the way that we've done economic policy in the United States of America, but it was necessary. So, yeah, we're going to cut your taxes. You're going to have more money in your pocket, and that's, of course, going to help you deal with the cost of inflation. But that's not about offsetting the tariffs. They work together.
Are you going to raise salaries, though?
Never.
The whole reason that shit's made overseas is because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
You're going to skyrocket prices on every item that's now built here instead.
I like how we just casually confessed that there was going to be like bad inflation.
Necessary. So, yeah, we're going to cut your taxes. You're going to have more money in your pocket, and that's, of course, going to help you deal with the cost of inflation. But
going to help you
he's
deal
not
with
going
the
to cut
cost
your
of
taxes.
inflation.
He's cutting the taxes of the rich.
A puppy dog.
It's a doggy.
This is
But
my
that's not
dog.
about
His name is Axel.
Some have called the tariffs the largest peacetime tax increase in history.
Those people would be liberals.
Offsetting the tariffs, they work together. We want to penalize people for shipping our jobs overseas. We want to reward hardworking Americans. It's all part of the same policy.
I want to get to some other news because there were some reports that came out that Elon Musk is leaving. Now, of course, the president had already said he was only going to be here for a temporary basis.
Yeah.
Just got to play something real quick.
They're already getting rid of Elon. Oh.
Tell us about that.
I think
Doge
he's
will
just gonna slide
continue
in the
after
background
Elon Musk. Will he still be an advisor to you and the president? I know y'all have a great relationship. Tell us about it.
Well, first of all, that report I saw was total fake news. Elon came in and we said, we need you to make government more efficient. We need you to shrink the incredible, vast bureaucracy that thwarts the will of the American people, but also costs way too much money. And we said that's going to take about 6 months. And that's what Elon signed up for. But of course, he's going to continue to be an advisor. And by the way,
Yeah, we need his money.
What
work
money?
of Doge is not even close to done. The work of Elon is not even close to done. You look at
Because they haven't done anything yet.
all of the fraudulent grants that they found. You look at people who are 150 years old, who are fraudulently collecting Social Security payments. You see our Social Security system, 40% of the people who are calling in are actually committing fraud. That means the 60% who need their Social Security checks are waiting in line. Doge has got a lot of work to do. And yeah, that work's going to continue after Elon leaves. But fundamentally, Elon is going to remain a friend and an advisor of both me and the president, and he's done a lot of good things. People don't realize how vast and uncontrolled the bureaucracy was. We've started to chip away at it, but there's a lot of work to do. It's not going to happen all in 6 months. It's going to take a long and committed effort.
Wasn't he a senator for 2 years?
Vance?
Yeah.
Vance?
Yeah, from Ohio.
So.
And he didn't do shit about any of this?
Shit.
Didn't even talk about it, never brought it up one time?
No.
But now it's important.
Now it's important.
Got it.
Tell us about the news when it comes to TikTok. It looks like the president is going to announce maybe today some proposal. Maybe America owns 50% of TikTok. A private investor will own the other part. Is that going to happen today?
So I don't want to get ahead of any presidential announcements here, but what I've said is we've been working very hard, me and the president, the entire team, to really accomplish two things. First of all,
I have a brief comment about the TikTok thing before we move on. How is it not socialism to do that?
Because it's our idea this time.
It's because it's a business.
Right. How is government control of a business not socialism?
Reasons.
What?
But why?
Lots of reasons.
What?
The greatest reasons.
Are you trying to say you don't know Tim? Well, if you don't know, then why should I have to tell you? I mean, all the cool kids know what it is. I know what it is. I'm not dumb. I know. It's for smart people like me
Mm.
to know
Okay.
this
Okay.
stuff, and I don't even have to tell you. You know. These guys are stupid.
Because Trump wants to own TikTok because he sees it's valuable.
It's gonna turn TikTok into
Yep.
like fucking state media.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm done with TikTok. Can catch fire if it's. I'm done if the government owns any part of it.
I'm learning Mandarin. If they fucking buy TikTok, I'm learning Mandarin. I'm going on Redbook.
You want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people.
Right.
That's good for national security.
No, that's
you
for
also
our
want to
other
give people
intelligence
access.
agencies to fucking do.
We want to give Russians more access to American voters.
That's for Facebook and Twitter. That's for spying on people.
Access to this incredible platform, which, as we know, that's where a lot of young people get their news. That's where a lot of young people found out about the policies of the Trump administration. And we got to accomplish both of those things. I think that we're in a good place. We're going to keep on working at it, but I'll let the president make that announcement.
If it doesn't come out before the deadline, because I know the president extended.
It'll come out before the
It
deadline.
will come out
We had a
before-
couple days to continue working on it, to finalize some things, and of course, we're going to let the president announce whatever we
That's
ultimately
not coming out
decide.
before the
Let's
deadline.
talk about some of the
That's
lawfare
extending
in
the
this country,
deadline.
because I think it's important.
Of course.
We're seeing judges block illegal immigrants that came into the country illegally. That was the first crime. And then the second crime, they victimized American citizens, murder, rapists, and all that. What's going to be done about this? We're seeing these one-off stories of.
Sorry, I love how this brother thinks that he's going to be protected from all of this just because he's on Fox News.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he looks Haitian to me. Box him up.
He'll be
know,
on
this
the
person-
last vote.
Yeah.
Was a great father, and then they're hanging around with MS-13. So, what's going to be done? The courts are
Allegedly.
blocking this right
super
now, the
allegedly.
executive branch. What are you guys going to do about it?
Well, look, we're going to keep on appealing. We're going to keep on fighting back here. First of all, we have to remember the most important thing was to stop the bleeding, to stop the influx of massive illegal immigration into the country. And in 2 months, the president has already done that. You have illegal border crossings down over 90.
Yeah, you guys are so good at deporting people. You're getting citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of that guy from Maine? Was it that got shipped off to that Supermax prison in
El
South
Salvador.
America?
Yeah.
85% in pretty much every part of the American southern border. Then, yeah, we got to get the violent criminals out of here, and we've got to get illegal immigrants who came in
January
under the Biden
6th.
administration out of our country. That's what we're working on now. You're right.
they're
The
pardoned.
courts, some
Yeah,
radical.
why don't we deport the
You are
J6ers?
free to go.
Yeah.
I-
I mean,
That could have been easy. Like, yeah, and they're out of here too.
yeah.
I'd be
they-
like, okay, Trump. Okay, you actually
Send them to Russia. They need people.
send them to Ukraine.
No, you see, those people were white, and so they got pardons for their
Right.
violent
That's
crimes.
right. That's right.
Right. You're right.
Radical left judges have stepped in and said you're not allowed to deport MS-13 gang members. That's crazy. We think
You're not.
Because you have to prove that first, and then you can deport them.
Also,
Process.
MS-13 is an American gang.
Correct.
They're from America
California is part of America still, last time I checked.
for now.
Oh, so did he just say they're going to just intentionally start deporting American citizens that they don't like?
Correct.
That is
Correct.
true.
So they're laying the groundwork with criminals
Mhm.
and will then expand it to anyone that speaks out against the regime.
Correct.
Yeah. First they came for the gangs, and then I said nothing, and
Yo, it's crazy
Then
that
they came-
motherfuckers have to defend gang members because they're so they're so outside the Constitution that even gang members like, I still have due process, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
Supreme Court's going to overrule it, and we're going to keep on fighting for the president's prerogative to enforce the law. Lord, you have to remember the number of people who came in here, the innocent American, girls like Jocelyn Nungray who lost their lives. Democrats never wept for them. Democrats never issued a congressional resolution of.
remember that dude in Yemen's like neighbor who got blown up too because he lived next to the guy that you guys went to blow up, and you blew up the whole. Did we ever get an action report on that about how many civilians were killed? Oh wait, no.
it was 46.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
They killed 46 people to get to that one guy.
But
And
you're
they were
right.
all like fist pump emoji,
American flag.
emoji, fire emoji. So in Vance's defense, he was like, "Hey guys, maybe we should wait a month." and do this when it's more politically advantageous.
He's just a coward.
Nation for their murder. Democrats didn't do anything to make it harder for violent thugs to come into our country and prey on innocent young women. What they're getting fired up about, what they're most angry about, is not that Jocelyn Nungray was murdered, but that the person who murdered her is getting shipped back home where they belong, not in the United States of
Not from El Salvador.
America. I think it shows a disgraceful set of priorities from congressional Democrats. We're not going to let that stand in our way. We're going to keep on doing the American people's work.
Mr. Vice President, can I get you to put your lawyer hat on for a second? Because they're pointing to one of these cases of
He was a lawyer for like 5 minutes.
Should not have been deported from El Salvador. They said he was not connected to MS-13. What would you tell them about that case? Because they're saying that this is a person that was a great member of society. You've looked at the court records. You've talked to the men and women on the ground. What can you tell us about that situation?
Well, there have been a few cases out there where the Democrats and the media say, oh, this person was just an innocent father of 3, and then you find out, for example, I think this is the case that you're talking about. Back in 2019, an immigration judge looked at all the evidence, looked at all the data, and concluded that this allegedly innocent person that we sent to El Salvador was actually a member of an MS-13 gang. He had also committed some traffic violations. He had not shown up for some court dates. This is not exactly Father of the Year here. This is
Yeah, man. You parked on the wrong side of the seat. Yeah.
I got a ticket the other day for parking in a parking lot I wasn't supposed to. Does that mean they're gonna come for me?
Yes.
Yep.
You're going back to Puerto Rico, dog.
Man, you're wearing a toque. They're going to think you're Canadian. Be careful.
Oh no. Deport me to Canada.
Please.
No.
Please. Deport me to Canada.
I too will never go back to Canada. You'll never deport me back.
Let's see. What country is based on your heritage would we all get deported back to?
I mean, Puerto Rico's not a different country, but either Puerto Rico or Italy.
It'd be Germany, Sweden, or Denmark for me.
Well,
I'm okay with all of those.
You're going to Greenland.
France.
All right.
All of my ancestors are French. Acadians.
Mikey, which African country would they send you to?
The best one, fucking Nigeria, dog.
This is a person that we don't think should be in our country. Here's the most important point, though, Lawrence, is whatever the argument is, whatever the justification is, no one doubts, not even the crazy left-wing media criticized the idea that we could deport this person. They just took issue with the reasoning for
Neil in the chat.
Why we deported this person. This was
impersonator
unquestionably an illegal alien. This was unquestionably a person who broke the laws to get into our country. This is unquestionably a person an immigration judge had found had zero right to be in the United States of America. We do not ask permission from far left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And again, for the American people who are watching, this is such a weird, mistaken placement of priorities. We need to make our country stronger. We need to create jobs. We need to make our streets safer. What is it about congressional Democrats that get more angry at deporting violent gang members than they do at the victims of those violent gang members? I don't even understand where they're coming from. They've gone off the deep end and they got to come back to reality.
I think it goes to the...
It's because you can't read.
And that's why they banned all of the assault rifles, because they were so tired of Americans dying inside their classrooms that they got rid of all of the... Oh, wait.
I think we've gone far enough in this interview. I think we understand
that this guy's a piece of shit. Yeah.
That Elon. Wow, I was about to call him Elon Vance.
Well,
he'd be JD Teal. He'd be JD Teal if anything.
Yeah.
Elon
JD,
Light.
I want to know. I want to ask the vice president what it's like to lie and be a couch fucker at the same time.
That's all. There are plenty of things that are bad and wrong, but it doesn't make them fascist.
I don't know. Would couch fucking make him fascist? I feel like it would.
I think the other
Pretty soon we're gonna be communist country.
I think the other stuff makes him fascist.
Yeah.
Let's review the words he said.
I hate this motherfucker.
Yeah,
I hate him. He's such a fucking garbage bag.
So far in
Imagining
the
him
ditch.
cry in prison in the future lets me sleep calmly at night.
Yeah, he's not bulletproof like Trump is. They'll get him.
Well, and if they don't let Trump run again, he will probably be the person running in the next election.
Well, and here's the funny part is
That
that
would be great.
there's a theory out there that it'll be Vance as president nominee and Trump as vice president, and then Vance will just give up the presidency so Trump can be president for a third term.
That's
Tim,
not a thing.
Tim,
I didn't think they were going to do it that way.
Tim, I need you to answer this question from the chat, and this is from
Yes.
Kay. What's the story behind the Vance couch fucking thing? Rather not Google it. Rather not Google it for obvious reasons. So
Yeah,
please
don't
delight us.
Google it because AI is a monster.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Someone put out a tweet during the election on X saying that they read a passage from Vance's book, Hillbilly Eulogy, where he said that he fucked a couch once when he was a teenager. And
without consent.
Without consent. It went viral. Everyone was like, oh my God, did JD Vance really do this? Blah, blah, blah. They were trying to figure it out. Turns out he never wrote that into his book. And the reason so many people believed it is nobody fucking ever read his book.
Yep.
And
So
what was it? One of the major news stations.
Yeah, they picked it up.
Yep.
All right, pick it up. Go ahead.
If I remember right, one of the major middle of the road news stations put out a statement saying Vance never fucked a couch.
Yes, they had to put
then they had to retract it because technically they can't know for 100% accuracy whether that's true. So now we're stuck in La La Land where our current vice president
may or may not,
unlikely but small possibility, fucked a couch.
Schrodinger's couch. It was the Associated Press that had to make that retraction.
Yep.
They put out a statement saying JD Vance did not fuck a couch, and then they had to retract it because they couldn't know for sure.
And then they had to say, and then the second one was like, we don't have evidence that he fucked a couch.
Which is worse.
Yeah, which is so much funnier.
Somehow worse.
Speaking of Liz Truss.
Sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
On her way out. Hello, Simon.
F for
Oh yes, F
content because he lied and he's a fascist and
he looks like Joffrey all grown up.
Joffrey, does he?
He has a Joffrey air about him.
I was telling Mikey this earlier, and we'll get to presentation in a minute, but his face looks like it's both aging and getting younger at the same time.
Oh yeah, let me get the close up. Because look at his just for men pattern here, dude. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Because you know he colors his hair.
He's definitely coloring his hair.
So just think, he's like 4 years older than me and Tim.
Yeah.
So, bro is already gray everywhere. Already.
Everywhere.
Just accept the white and go with it. Just accept the white and go with it.
Oh, does that mean there's
he's got a baby face
all over his couch?
Oh, dude, he's like, it's my dog Sprinkles. Oh, come on, Sprinkles.
Sure.
Sprinkles is brown and gray.
Oh, what was next?
He
Delivery.
reminds me the character in Game of Thrones where like the veil, the errands that are up in the it's ruled by the wife. The Lord died, and she's breastfeeding her like 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Robin.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Robin Vance.
I want to see him fly, Mummy. I want to see him fly.
I want to see him go through the moon door.
The moon door. Moon door. JD Moon Door Vance.
Oh my God. So delivery, the way that JD Vance spoke words from his stupid mouth.
He still talks like a youth pastor. F.
He does.
All F, double F. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, F or fuck this guy. And now, presentation. Mikey and I alluded to this in the earlier video today. The fireplace behind
Yes.
behind I was about to say Elon again. The fireplace behind Vance
Look at
is
it.
fake.
Look at that. Look at that.
Well-
You got a freaking flashlight back there with an orange fucking piece of construction paper over it. Like, this is stupid.
Is he in the White House?
Who knows?
I think so.
Because
look at the floor.
I will say about like the White House, though a lot of their fireplaces used to be real, and then they have since changed them and closed them down because they don't need them to be heat sources anymore. So that may have been a real fireplace, and then it's been
That's what I was thinking
But
too.
bro, they got 2 dry ass logs with a candle behind, with a flashlight behind it.
Yep.
Just
Those
take
logs have probably been sitting there for 30 years.
fucking dust. Those are just
a little
dust
longer, it'll be
logs.
coal.
You know, we could fucking drill it. I'm just saying they could have just, put the little fancy grate over it with like a presidential seal made out of like cast iron. Like they could have did something classy, but just to have some fucking random ass logs on there with a flashlight behind it is fucking embarrassing.
Or put in a gas fireplace with like the glass sheathing over it. Like have it be a fire that's safe, but looks nice.
Or put those like rocks like in Vegas, and then just have like a fucking like a nightclub.
So I would say overall for the setting, too many flags. One flag is enough.
The flags are just touching each other. They're like overlapping. It's a flag orgy in that bitch.
The actual room in the White House is probably very nice, but there's just so many flags.
If it is the White House.
If it is the White House. I mean, it could be like the vice president technically has like their own building. It could be the vice president's building, but...
his office was in the West Wing.
No, the vice president's office is in a different building.
Oh my God.
Or, you know?
Scott.
That might be for security.
Scott says Mikey's really lit about that fireplace. Ha. You. And then person impersonator says they sealed them up to prevent skinny assassins. I wasn't even thinking of that, but thanks for the heads up.
They came through the fire.
It was Dick Van Dyke.
The way that Vance is dressed, his tie is too big.
Too freaking big.
And he looks like a slimy lawyer. Like that's what he looks like.
But
are his sleeves too short?
Oh, dude, his clothes never fit him.
Okay. I'm not going insane then.
Overall, I'm giving him a D for presentation. He's just all around.
Look at his look at his beard coloring, brother.
Yeah, D for presentation.
F for fuck this guy still.
he's wearing a suit, but that's the nicest thing about him.
He's insulting the suit by wearing it.
Right.
I can't go that low. I just I'm not judging him on what he's saying and stuff like this. I'm just the presentation.
There you go.
Eyes wide shut. He's sure, yeah, he's got Grecian formula for men in the beard and whatnot like that. And I hate the baby blue tie, but I mean it's not a fail though. It's a C. It works.
Hey,
Bill Burr's wrinkled shirt looked better than this shit.
I mean, I can't help the frame that the art is. I can't help the frame that the art is in, Ollie. It's not my fault. It's on a fucking ass bag, and it looks like ass. Like that's not my fault. He could just not be an ass bag.
I'm just trying to be impartial, guys.
Mikey,
why are you being impartial? This is not impartial politics. This is unboxed politics.
Mikey, what's your grade for his presentation?
Fuck him. F.
We no longer speak from the center, okay?
Yeah, that show's done, dude. That is a sometimes food.
It is in name only at this point.
Speaking of the fuck this guy.
Speaking from the fuck him.
Finally, so we can leave this place. Vibes.
Oh,
F.
Oh,
come on, be impartial, Ollie.
No, that is being impartial. He's a slimy bastard.
F for fascist fuck.
Yeah, fascist.
Ooh, that should be the new thing. It's not just F, it's fascist.
The double F.
The double F. All right, Mikey, let's move on to the next.
If we must.
Oh, he's going to make the bottom of the fucking board.
He is certainly close.
He deserves to be down there. He's where he belongs, you know? I'm just fixing our chat here. How do you guys like this layout? I don't know. I'm lukewarm on it.
I like it.
It's okay.
We should at least try it out a couple more times before we decide. But
yeah, I guess it's not so bad.
You could also have the four of us across the top or across the bottom with the picture playing above or below us.
We can all look up like we're actually watching it on screen.
But then all of our faces are really small.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. All right, let me get the next clip.